Gamescom is coming up very soon over in Germany, the next stop on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Road Tour. Earlier today, we actually got a tweet from Digital Eclispe from Steven himself, who mentioned that there is no knowledge that is not power. Now, that is a quote that is greatly associated with the game you are seeing here. And I wanted to shoot a video real quick and kind of theory craft with you what maybe that meant. So, welcome into today's video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection talk. Welcome back, my friends. Now, we are here on Stephen Frost's Twitter page, where you can see that he shared earlier today, there is no knowledge that is not power. Prepare yourself for an upcoming Gamescom broadcast featuring Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection on Thursday, August 21st. I can't wait. Now, this is going to be done by Xbox. Low-key, I'm really hoping and praying that it's Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, but as we get closer and closer, I'm starting to think that that's probably not going to be the game. I just can't see them releasing Mortal Kombat Mythologies to a room full of people and people just dying all weekend playing Mythologies, trying to get past the second level and falling to their death constantly. However, if they did reveal it in a video, I mean, I suppose they could. But now that I've seen this tweet, it does make me wonder. Could they be alluding to Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1? We just found out at EVO that Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection would be featuring Trilogy, and they now have the technology to include PlayStation games. So maybe they would be revealing Mortal Kombat 3 on PS1? I don't know. Now, there is a reason that I mentioned that. You might hear a little crinkly plastic sound, and I'm going to show you what that is in just a second. So let's go ahead and check this out. Mortal Kombat 3 on the PlayStation 1 was actually a very interesting port. You may hear that there is commentary, there is a voice reading the BIOS. To my knowledge, this is the only Mortal Kombat game in existence that has a narrator that narrates the BIOS, the story, all that good stuff. And this version, I think, is an important part of the Mortal Kombat Legacy for a few reasons. But that crinkly piece of plastic that you heard is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection pin from EVO, which was the second stop. You will notice a 2 on there. We're about to be on the third stop on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Road Tour. Now, as we get closer to that stop, now that I've seen that tweet from Stephen Frost from Digital Eclispe, it makes me wonder. He dropped a reference to Mortal Kombat 3 with the tweet of "There is no knowledge that is not power," referencing as we head into that. If we get to the Legacy Collection Road Tour stop over there, if that pin might have a 3 on it, maybe that's indicative of just the third stop, or maybe, just maybe, they're cooking up releasing and announcing Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1. Now that they've announced that they have a working PlayStation emulator working inside their engine, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe got more PlayStation games. I'm really hungry for Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, and I'm starving for Mortal Kombat Special Forces. And I can look you in this camera and say, I'm probably the #1 person hoping for Mortal Kombat Mortal Kombat Special Forces. I think the game's pretty fun. You want to go on a funky adventure with Jax on a Saturday afternoon, pick up Special Forces, the only Mortal Kombat with a shower scene. I could go on for days about that game. But the closer we get to the reveals, I just don't know how they could even reveal those games in front of a group of people. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, if you had a booth where you had mythologies there all weekend long, the people would be dying left and right, just falling off cliffs, be getting mobbed by enemies. I don't know how they would do that. However, announcing Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1, that's a rare version that many haven't got a chance to get their hands on. And there is another couple versions on the PlayStation that, now that we know there is a working PlayStation emulator within the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which I'm sure they waited to reveal that they had cracked the PlayStation disc-based emulation for this collection. They were waiting to announce that with Trilogy, because I'm sure if they would have come out and announced a PlayStation game, part of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, If they would have announced any other PlayStation game first, everybody would have immediately said, where's PlayStation Mortal Kombat Trilogy? But now that we know we have the PlayStation emulator working in the engine, it makes me wonder if the final games that we might not get might be something like Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1, maybe a couple other ones, and I'm going to show them to you in this video. There's a couple Easter egg games that I'm kind of keeping my eye on that I think are pretty realistic, you know, to maybe keep an eye out for. They're great pieces of Mortal Kombat history, including Mortal Kombat 3. This is an exclusive version on the PlayStation. You know, the only version of Mortal Kombat that ever had a narrator narrating the voices. I believe this was a Japanese exclusive as well. It was never released in North America. And you can hear the announcer voice right there. But I'm wondering if we don't get Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Road Tour stop at Gamescom with pins with a 3 on it. And maybe we don't see the reveal of Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1. Main reason I'm thinking that is because of that tweet that we got from... I'm going to just bring it back up so you can see it once again. But from Stephen Frosty Frost, head of Digital Eclispe, man, there is no knowledge that's not power. That is a very, very, very specific line in Mortal Kombat history. Obviously, it's a reference to Gamescom coming up. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the other 2 games that I think maybe stand a chance, including the one that I could see them dropping at PAX West for the last stop on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Tour. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Mortal Kombat 4 on PlayStation 1. I personally want Mortal Kombat Gold, however, I'm tempering expectations at best because that would require them to develop new technology for the Dreamcast emulator, get that running inside of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Then they would need to get that running on all the different consoles that the Legacy Collection is going to be on. The PlayStation version, though, since we know we have a PlayStation emulator running inside the engine, I could maybe see them announcing that. Now, going back into my theory, what if these numbers on the pins actually do mean something? Now, we got Mortal Kombat Trilogy, so obviously that 2 didn't mean anything, but maybe there is a Mortal Kombat game on PlayStation 1 that has a 2 that could still come as a surprise later on. Now, if Mortal Kombat 1 on PlayStation 1 made it in, this is the version that many fans grew up with and played. A lot of players did not play the arcade version of Mortal Kombat 4 back in the day, and a lot of players only got a chance to experience the home ports. So, and I don't think we have any other ports of Mortal Kombat 4 currently other than the arcade. So this would be kind of nice for that nostalgia factor for people who grew up with the PlayStation version. And, you know, just theory crafting, like, I honestly have no clue what we're going to be getting for the final games revealed. But I do think it would be nice if, you know, the Mortal Kombat 3rd stop on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Road Tour, I think it'd be nice if that actually signified, you know, maybe Mortal Kombat 3. Maybe that's what the 3 on the pin might be for. Maybe that's what the tweet might be about. Maybe the 4th stop on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection Road Tour. If we don't get Mortal Kombat Gold, perhaps they give us Mortal Kombat 4 on PlayStation 1, which I think was probably the most popular version of the home ports for Mortal Kombat 4 back in the day. Now I'm going to show you one more game on the Mortal Kombat side of things that I personally would like to see, because I think some of these, for nostalgia reasons, you know, I grew up on the PlayStation port of Mortal Kombat 4 after the arcade days. Now, this next game I'm going to show you, I think is one of the more rare versions of Mortal Kombat, and one that I really like to see in the Legacy Collection, and one that I don't think a lot of fans themselves have had a chance to play, and there's actually some unique things to it. Without further ado, let's get into the last game that I think might possibly have a chance to slide its way into the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Because the further we get to this, the closer we get, the more I'm thinking that Mythology, Sub-Zero, and Special Forces might not make it. They're not fighting games. And honestly, I think Special Forces and Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, I think that would be better suited for a Mortal Kombat Adventure Legacy Collection where you get Shaolin Monks and those games. But let's take a look at the final game here and show you what I think I mean, it's a game I'd like to see, but let's take a look at it. Mortal Kombat 2 on the PlayStation 1. This also, like Mortal Kombat 3, was a Japanese exclusive title on the PlayStation 1. This was never released in North America, and this had a very exclusive feature. This was the only Mortal Kombat in existence to have a feature called Artful Scaling. You could access a secret menu in this game with a secret code, and one of the options inside of it was called Artful Scaling, which would zoom the stage out or zoom it in depending on the proximity of the fighters. Now, Mortal Kombat trivia time for you loyal Mortal Kombat fans out there. Who knows what the code is for Mortal Kombat 2 on the PlayStation 1, the Japanese exclusive, to access? Do you know the code to access the secret menu? If you do, let me know in the comments section below. This is some trivia for the ultimate Mortal Kombat fan, because that code, that secret code for the Japanese version of Mortal Kombat 2 on PlayStation 1 is actually kind of hard to find online. So if you know, let me know in the comments section below. If they have a list of Easter egg games that they would like to add or anything like DLC, I would like to see this. This is the third of the fighting games on PlayStation 1 that we don't currently have on the Legacy Collection. If we're not getting Mythologies and we're not getting Special Forces, we got Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, and Mortal Kombat 4 on the PlayStation 1. Now, do you think any of these versions stand a chance to come to the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection? You gotta let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. So I just want to show you this game here because, you know, once the Legacy Collection comes out, if they're gonna do DLC or anything like that, I would really like to see this version come. This is a great version of Mortal Kombat 2, and very few players ever got a chance to experience this since it was exclusive to Japan, just like the Mortal Kombat 3 variant. You know, and I don't know. It's we have enough ports of Mortal Kombat 2, I think. You know, the arcade version's fine as it is. I know a lot of people were hoping for Sega Saturn ports and stuff like that. I think it might stand to reason that it'd be easier for the final games. I think it might stand to reason to think that maybe the final games would be PlayStation ports, and maybe they just hid revealing those PlayStation games so they could hide the inclusion of Trilogy. Because like I said before, if they had announced that, you know, Mortal Kombat, any version, if they'd announced anything other than Trilogy on PlayStation 1 ahead of time, all fans would already be asking, where is Mortal Kombat Trilogy? So, is Mortal Kombat 2 on PlayStation 1 a version that you would like to see on the Legacy Collection? Now, I don't think it makes the main list of games, but if it ever comes to DLC, I could see this version maybe making the cut. But let me know your thoughts down below on Mortal Kombat 2 on PlayStation 1. Once again, this is a Japanese exclusive version, and if you know that code for Artful Scaling, let me know in the comments section below. And let's go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on this. So this is what the PlayStation logo looked like back in the day if you booted up your PlayStation fresh out of the gate. Great memories. This is Mortal Kombat 3, once again, as it's booting up. Once again, if we take a look at that tweet, I mean, there is no knowledge that's not power. That's making me think that there is something Mortal Kombat 3 related. But we never know. And, you know, like I said, at the Legacy Collection booth at EVO, we got these pins that had a 2 on it, which maybe were indicating the second event on the road tour. But perhaps when we get to the Legacy Collection events over in Germany, perhaps it'll have a 3 on it, and perhaps the game reveal will have something to do with a 3. Just an interesting fan crafting theory. I wanted to make this video to hear your thoughts down below. Trust me when I say, I am probably one of the biggest Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero fans in the world. and also probably one of the largest Mortal Kombat Special Forces fans. Mythologies, I would love to see come to this Legacy Collection. I would love to see it come with like a beat the clock mode, or where I could take my speed run time and put it against others, because you're talking to somebody that loves to play Mythologies, speed run Mythologies. It's a fun game. I really think it is. However, you know, this collection's being touted as rollback netcode and, you know, this online experience and all the fighting games, and I just don't know if Mythologies and Special Forces are going to make the cut. And if they don't make the cut, I'm racking my brain to think what our final games could be. There's a huge part of me that wants Mortal Kombat Trilogy on 64, but I don't know if they can get that working. That's a lot to do. You got to get the 64 emulation cracked, then you got to get it working inside the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection engine, then you got to get that working on each individual console that you're testing it on, and 64 emulation's always been kind of wonky. Dreamcast, I mean, same thing. They'd have to create all new technology for one game. If it's for Dreamcast MK Gold, they're creating all new technology for Gold. If they're creating it for 64, all new technology for 64. Or they could just be giving us the remaining fighting games from the PlayStation now that they've revealed that there is a PlayStation emulator working on the inside. And after I saw that tweet referencing Mortal Kombat 3's time frame, and I started looking at our PlayStation games that we still have that are fighting games, but are not part of the Legacy Collection just yet, I think Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1 would be a good addition. And, you know, it would be kind of poetic if it was revealed at an event that had the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection pin with a 3 on it. And then we only have one version of Mortal Kombat 4 currently. That's the arcade version, which is plenty. However, a lot of people do have nostalgia and grew up on the PlayStation version, and they did mention that this game is meant to really bring that nostalgia back for fans. That's why they included a lot of the home ports, because a lot of people grew up on them and they want to bring back those great memories. So is it possible that we see Mortal Kombat 3 on PlayStation 1 revealed at the third stop? And is there any possibility that the fourth and final game is a home version, PlayStation 1's Mortal Kombat 4, in lieu of Mortal Kombat Gold? Trust me, I want Mortal Kombat Gold more than anybody. I just don't know if they could do the technology, or if they would just for one game. MK Gold, honestly, that would be a game I think would be great for DLC if they could get it working, you know. Put out the Legacy Collection, and then they have plenty of time in the future to work on the DLC. Get that to work, you know, as they need to. Heck, Trilogy on 64 and MK Gold would be great DLC. But let me go ahead and wrap up the video there. And once again, if you've never seen this version of MK3, check it out. This actually has a narrator that goes through and reads all of the bios, reads the story out. I wish we had this in an American version, to be totally honest. I thought this was very cool. And again, many fans don't know of this version, and if they do, they've never experienced it. And they might not have experienced that cool narrator and all that. I'm going to leave it to y'all in the comments section, though. Let me know your thoughts down below. If I'm going to make a wish list, my final wish list for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, if it was up to me, I would take Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero, and MK Gold. However, what do I think is more realistic at this point? I think it's more realistic to look at maybe some PlayStation titles being our final games. And maybe we get DLC for the other, you know, console versions that they have to create technology for later on. But we'll see. My wish list, my hope list is for Mythologies and Special Forces, along with Mortal Kombat Gold. But I just don't know if I see those adventure games coming. And we'll find out very soon, though. This is going to be exciting. What a time to be a Mortal Kombat fan. I mean, we're getting a chance to play all these classics that we grew up with. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see all of you online playing these games, showcasing these games, going over it when it releases. Cool laugh right there. But let me know your thoughts down below, my friends. I appreciate checking out these videos, and I apologize. It took me another minute to make a video. I got back from Evo. I was quite ill. I got the Evola, and I just was down and out for like a week. But good to be back with you. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, share with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, you might not be able to find us again in the future. If you don't know who I am, my name's Dwayne. I'm just an old arcade head, locked in for life. My name is Headlocked. Go buy that online. I absolutely love Mortal Kombat. You ever want to play me in Mortal Kombat 1, my WB is Headlocked. I play on retro Mortal Kombat Arcade online. I got Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. I play 3D era Mortal Kombat online all the time on the PlayStation 2 fan server. Mortal Kombat 1 online every day. As far as the Mortal Kombat rabbit hole goes, I don't know how much further down the rabbit hole I can go, but I'm enjoying seeing how far I can take it. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your wish list, what games you want personally left to be revealed, and then let me know what you think is most realistic. Honestly, before I go, I would say I think it'd be kind of poetic if the third stop was Mortal Kombat 3 on the PlayStation 1. And I think it'd be poetic if the fourth and final stop had the pin with the number 4 on it. I think it'd be poetic if it was Mortal Kombat 4 on PlayStation 1. And it would give fans who grew up with that version the nostalgia hit from back then. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up there. Once again, I'm just an old arcade head locked in for life. I appreciate you checking out the video. I'm going to wrap up there. But as always, thank you once again. I'm going to head out for now, but I will see you on the next Mortal Kombat video. Take care, friends. Peace.